everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge Hub. Friends, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're going to start with your quantitative aptitude class, and that is your 144th class. We had done 143rd class in the last sessions, and in the 143rd class we had started with the chain rule, where we had discussed the direct proportion and indirect proportion. If you had not visited, you can go ahead. We had talked about the detail and we had started up the question as well. Where we had talk about the direct proportion is I just tell you now sentences form, but we will go detail find it out in the last class. The 13th topic that we had done is your partnership. This is your 14th topic which we have started in the last class, that is your chain rule. And in that, direct proportion is the two quantities are said to be directly proportional if on the increase or the decrease of the one, the other increases or the decrease to the same extent, which is cost is directly proportional to the number of articles. What article is more cost, more man, more work. In terms of indirect proportion, direct proportion we had done in the last classes. We had done 4 questions there, and in today's class we'll surely be touching it out in the indirect and the direct as well, where the question we that is indirect proportion is we have as your two quantities that are said to be indirectly proportional if on the increase of the one, the other decrease of the same extent, and the vice versa. So we'll go for it, but before starting with this, it's a huge request to all the viewers to please go ahead with like, share and subscribe, so that very and maximum people can get the information at once, and maybe you can also enjoy the video as well. So here we go, and that is the 5th question that we have to talk. As I told you, the 4th question we had done. So the 5th question of the sessions of chain rule is the question is, if 15 men working 9 hours a day can reap a field in 16 days, in how many days will 18 men reap the field working 8 hours a day? So that you have to answer it out. Let's find it out for the solution here. So stay tuned with us. If 15 men working 9 hours a day can reap a field in 16 days, in how many days will 18 men reap the field working 8 hours a day? That is we have. So let's find it out. Let the required number of days be x. Where more men, less days, which is your indirect proportion. Less hour per day, more days. This is also an indirect proportion. So men, we have 18, 15, where hours per day, 8:9, and that is 16:x. So further it will be 18 into 8 into x equals to 15 into 9 into 16. It will be x equals to 15 into 144 whole upon 144. So 144 cancel out, we'll get 15. So hence the required number of days equals to 15. Now we go further, we talk about for the next question has been the sixth question of the session, and of course that has been important here, and that's what we have to talk about it. Now we go for the sixth question. That the question we have as follows. So if 9 engines consume 24 metric tons of coal when each is working 8 hours a day, how much coal will required for 8 engines each running 30 hours a day? It is being given that 3 engines of former type consumes as much as 4 engines of the later type, and for the same we talk here, but this is gonna be too long compared to what we had done today or we had done in the last classes. So yes, it will be a little bit longer, but we have to do that. So yes, go for it. This has been the sixth question of the session. So that is, if 9 engines consume 24 metric tons of coal when each is working 8 hours a day, how much coal will be required for 8 engines each running 30 hours a day. It being given that three engines of former type consumes as much as 4 engines of later type. So we go for the solution here that we have to deal here. So let's find it out, the solution, and before answering it out, it's a huge request that you will be doing these type of a question by your own side, so you will be get to know about this type of a question, how you have to prepare for it and how you have to answer it out as well. So let's go for the same. Let 3 engines of former type consume 1 unit in 1 hour. Then 4 engines of later type consume 1 unit in 1 hour. So one engine of former type consume 1/3 unit in 1 hour. One engine of later type consumes 1/4 bx units. So for the same, if I'm going ahead in the detail, it will be less engines, less coal consumed, that is direct proportion. More working hours, more coal consumed, that is also direct proportion. And less rate of consumption, it means less coal consumed, that is also a direct proportion. So we go for the detail about it. So here we go. That is less engine, less coal consumed, this is direct proportion. Another is more working hours, more coal consumed, this is also comes under direct proportion. Then less rate of consumption, that is less coal consumed, which is also comes under direct proportion. So we go for it, and that we talk about here, which is the solution, that is number of engines. 9:8. So working hours 8:13. Rate of consumption 1/3 ratio 1/4. This all conclude here, which is ratio 24:x. 9 into 8 into 1/3 into x equals to 8 into 13 into 1/4 into 24. So that is being equals to, we just cancel it out. 3 ones are 3, 3 3s are 9, 4 ones are 4, and 4 2s are 8. So further it will give you 24x equals to 624. So x equals to 26. Hence the required consumption of coal equals to 26 metric tons. So this is what's the answer. And now we talk about for the next question, that has been the 7th question here, and that the question we have as follows: where a contract is to be completed in 48 days and 117 men were set to work, each working 8 hours a day. After 33 days, 4/7 of the work is completed. How many additional men may be employed so that the work may be completed in time? Each man now working 9 hours a day. So that is the question which we have to solve it out. With the remaining work we talk about, and the less work, less men. This is direct proportional, less days, movement. Indirect proportional, more hours per day, less men, that is indirect proportion. So this is the combination of the direct and the indirect proportion. And so with the same we go for it, and that will go for 7th question. And that is the 7th question we have as follows. So as I told you, a contract is to be completed in 46 days, and 117 men were set to work, each working 8 hours a day. After 33 days, 4/7 of the work is completed. How many additional men may be employed so that the work may be completed in time. Each man now working 9 hours a day. Now we solve this on the same way. For the solution of this, remaining work goes to 1 minus 4/7. The 4/7 of the work has been completed. It will be 3/7. So remaining period equals to 46 minus 33 days. So it will be, your 13 days will be left. Let the total men working at it be X. So for that, less work, less men, that is your direct proportion. Less days, more men, that is your indirect proportion. More hours per day means less men, that is indirect proportion. On the same way, we have work, that is 4/7 ratio 3/7. Another is days, 13 left and 33 done. Hours per day, 9:8. So this will get 117 ratio X. It will be 4/7. into 13 into 9 into x equals to 3 by 7 into 33 into 8 into 117. So here, or we can say that x equals to 3 into 33 into 8 into 117 whole upon 4 into 13 into 9. Now it will be giving 198. So additional men to be employed equals to 198 minus 117, which would be 81. So the total additional men that to be employed here is 81 here. Okay, now we go further, and that has been the next question, and that is also been the last question of the session, which is being your 8th question of the session. So the question we have here is a garrison of 3,300 men had provisions for 32 days when given at the rate of 850 grams per hand. Here with the same, that is 850 grams per hand. At the end of the 7 days, a reinforcement arrives, and it was found that the provision will last 70 days more when given at the rate of 825 grams per head. What is the strength of the reinforcement? That we have to do, and that has been the last question of the session. So we go for the same. So a garrison of 330, that is 3,300 men had provision for 32 days when given at the rate of 850 grams per head. At the end of 7 days, a reinforcement arrives, and it was found that the provision will last 17 days more when given at the rate of 825 grams per head. What is the strength? Of the reinforcement. So here we go for the same. So here we go for this, and we'll go for the solution. The problem becomes 3,300 men taking 850 per grams per head. That is your that have provisions of. So that we'll find it out. Men taking 850 per head have provision for 32 minus 7, it will give you as 20 or 25 days. How many men taking? Eight 25 each have provision for 17 days. So that is being considering as that has been less ration per head, more men, that is indirect proportion, and less days, more men, that is also indirect proportion. So ration is 825, 850, the days 17 to 25, it will give you 3,300 ratio x. So therefore we get here the form 825 into 17 into x equals to 850 into 25 into 3,300, or x equals to 850 into 25 into 3,300 upon 825 into 17, it will give you 5,000. So strength of reinforcement equals to 5,000 minus 3,300, it will give you 1,700. That will be the right answer. Strength of the reinforcement is 1,700, which is 1,700. Okay, so here we're going to end up with this, and we'll get many more topics related to it in terms of the chain rule. We'll discuss moreover. So that will discuss in the next coming class on the 145th class of the session, with 9th question here. And on the same way, if I'm talking about here in the detail, other than this quantitative aptitude, we had done your reasoning, which is your verbal reasoning and the non-verbal reasoning. That is also important one. Other than that, we are dealing with the chemistry for class 11th part 2, and for chemistry physics part 1 for class 11th as well. After talking about here in the detail, we are had dealing with the CPNST, which has been the computer-based numerical and statistical technique. After that, we talk about, yes, we are dealing with your English vocabulary, we are dealing with many more chapters related to it, and we are dealing with that is we are dealing here in terms of it, we are dealing with many more subjects, which is will start with the human resources as well, human being resources. And we had done your economics as well. You can go for it, whatever the subject you required of, you have comment on, and we had suggested you. So in terms of quantitative aptitude, we had started with arithmetical ability. In that we had done numbers of SCF and LCF of numbers, decimal fractions, simplifications, square roots and cube roots, averages, problems on numbers, problems on ages, surds and indices, percentage, profit and loss, ratio and proportion, partnership, chain rule, time and work, pattern system, time and distance, problems on train, boards and streams, allegations or mixtures, simple interest, compound interest, logarithm, area, volume and surface area, races and games of skills, calendar, clock, stocks and shares, permutation and combination, as well as we had done your we have to do probability, to discount, bankers discount, height and distance, odd man odd series. In data interpretation, we have to cover the tabulations, bar graphs, pie charts, and line graph. So here we're gonna end up with. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion on the comment box. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. Thank you. If you enjoy this video, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Thank you.